Hello guys, we are back with our next set of lectures. In this series, we are going to start the second unit of software engineering. Okay, so the whole unit we'll be discussing. Initially, we'll be discussing about principles. After that, we'll be discussing about requirement gathering, guys. Okay, like around first 10 videos, we'll just go through the principles that you should follow while you are doing some particular steps of software development. Okay, so in this lecture we'll be going through some basic principles, guys. I'll be just giving you the statement, sorry, I'll be saying you the statement, I'll be explaining you the theory. Okay, because this is just the concept, you can just write on your own if you understand the concept, right? Yes, so let us go through them. Okay, software engineering principles or practices. So the essence of practice. So these statements, these four principles, there are four principles, guys. These are said by George Polya. So basically remember the names, guys, because in some examinations they will be asking you based on the names. So write principles by, they'll be giving you the name and you should remember the name by, and based on the name you should answer the question. Okay, so there are four basic principles for complete software engineering. Okay, the first principle is to understand the problem. Okay, so we need to understand the problem perfectly. Okay, so just to think for a second, why did he say in that way? So basically, assume in this way, if you understand the problem, you will get the solution, right? And you can design the model, you'll be getting the requirements, you'll be designing the model, you will be constructing it, you'll be testing it, and you'll be submitting. But if you don't understand the problem, moving to next steps will be really tough and complex, guys. So basically understanding the problem includes communication and analysis. So communication is nothing but gathering requirements and all those things. So basically requirement phase is really important. I was saying from the first video itself, gathering requirements is really an important step, guys, because if it goes wrong, all the steps will be affected with that small reason. Okay, so the goal is achieved by the basic activity, that is nothing but communication with the customer and requirement analysis. So it should be done mandatorily. So requirement analysis is a communication intensive activity. If there is a misinterpretation of consumer or customer requirements, then obviously the product analysis will go wrong. So if product analysis is wrong, the designing will go wrong. Designing goes wrong, modeling will go wrong, like that, coding, and it continues. So basically that's the reason why we say requirement gathering or the first stage is really important. Hence wrong design will be, okay, that's what I have written here. So hence wrong design will be formed, and finally implementation will go wrong, so the customer will not get expected output. So that will be a huge issue, right? Yes. Hence with the customer communication, data, functions and behavior of the system to be implemented must be stated clearly during the requirement analysis activity. So when you are taking the process of requirement analysis, you should collect all the information that you want. You should make a note of them also, guys. Basically for your further analysis, you need to make a note of them also. Okay. So don't worry, we'll be discussing about what are the things that you should do in requirement analysis also in our next lectures, don't worry. So once principles are over, we'll be continuing with requirement analysis only, like around 10 to 15 videos we'll be going through requirement analysis. Okay. So to plan the solution. So basically once you understood the problem, the next step is nothing but you should plan the solution properly. That is nothing but modeling and software design. So the goal is to achieved by activities, modeling and software design. So basically once you understand the problem, the next step you will be doing is software or you will be designing it, right? So first check whether the problem are previously observed or not. So assume you are trying to develop an Android app for some company or something like that. So let us assume that it is an app for grocery store. Okay, and your company is the one who developed, assume, just for example I'm saying Amazon app or some other app, Amazon or Big Basket or any other app. So your company has made it. So indirectly you are having a huge previous knowledge, right? So based on the previous knowledge you can plan now. So that will be helping you, and you can use from the previous components, you can use some components directly here. That will also be an advantage, right? So first check whether the problems or this type of problem are previously solved, or are there any modules which can be of the same functionality. So that is nothing but reusability of components. So you should check that also. Okay, so if there are any large modules, then divide the modules into sub modules. Yes, this we will be following every time, right? So when there is a large module, you'll be dividing into sub modules so that it will be clear for you and easy to code, right? So that will be simple design and good practice. Okay. So the next step is nothing but coding, right? So to carry out the plan, so basically whenever till now you designed the structure and everything, right? So now it's time for coding. So the goal of this to carry out planning is nothing but code generation. The goal is to achieve coding. So you need to complete the coding part here, guys. Okay. So the design is translated into code by using the appropriate programming language. So basically using some programming language, you'll be converting the design into the code now. Okay. So all design details must be reflected into the actual coding. So basically if you in design you wrote a class with some name X and it is having 5 variables A, B, C, D, E, and they are storing some values. So if you designed the structure in this way, please make sure that you are using the same variables, same names and everything. That is the reason why the naming conventions are mandatory in projects, guys. You should give some meaningful names. You should not write X, Y, Z. So use underscore to separate words. So let us assume this value is storing the address. So you write address. So whose address it is storing? Underscore user. So it is storing user address. From the name itself, you should identify what it is, like that. Okay. So all design details should reflect. Okay. So the fourth and the final step is to examine the results for accuracy. That is nothing but testing and quality assurance. So you should make sure that the product you made should be of high quality. Okay. So the goal is to achieve the testing accuracy, to check the data functionality and behavior of the system, to check whether the system is maintaining good quality or not. Okay. So I hope everyone got some basic idea about some basic 4 steps. So this is the scientist name, guys. Please remember that the 4 steps he given for software engineering principles. Okay. So in the next lecture, we will be going through some more software engineering principles which are given by Devin Hookers. So these are called as 7 principles. Previously, those are called as 4 principles, guys. So in the next lecture, we will be going through these 4 principles, guys. Okay. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching.